All right, Shalom, Shalom. Let's get right into it. Let's give it our praises to Yahweh, Bashim Shah. Then on to the apostle and the brother speaking to word of world, Shalom to the elect. All right, y'all, little lesson here. Title is should be great tribulation sure is not seen. Right, great tribulation is not seen. So he's gonna get right into it. Just a couple points and get right into the lesson. Want to bring out. It's gonna get right into.
Went nuclear with their control of gas to Europe, and European countries that are affected said that there is a heightened chance now of world war breaking out because of a cessation of gas to those affected nations. Vladimir Putin is reported to have just signed a decree that gas must be purchased in rubles only, never dollars, never euros from tomorrow forward. If there is a failure to do so, it will be seen as an immediate default and a breaking of the contract for the failed nations. Russia will consider it a default on their entire agreement. France and Germany insist that no ruble payments will be made. None are possible. Gas supplies will be halted immediately, warns one official source, as soon as non-payment takes place, or if the German and European governments attempt to push through a payment in euros or in dollars. There will be an immediate cessation of gas, they warn, to those countries. France is reported to receive 20% of its gas from Russia. Bulgaria receives 90% of its gas imports from Russian companies. Poland receives 50% of its gas per year from Russia and says it has no plans so far to limit gas use. Greece receives 40% of its gas via pipeline. Italy gets 40% of its gas from Russia and is monitoring the situation, they say. The Netherlands gets between 15 and 20% of its gas from Russia, and Britain only gets around 3%. Germany has triggered emergency plans to manage gas supplies. They say they may ration power in the near future. Netherlands says that it's not ready yet to invoke emergency plans, but it has urged its citizens to cut gas use and ration for themselves. This is getting dangerous. As soon as grandparents begin to die because there's no gas to heat their house and their government has ceased all coal mining or power production by coal for a new, greener world, there will be massive calls for world war in the affected countries. And now reports show that Germany and Austria are taking the initial steps toward gas rationing within those nations. Germany urged customers and consumers and companies to reduce consumption in anticipation of shortages, while Austria said that it was heightening its monitoring of the entire gas market. Germany gets about half of its gas and a third of its oil from Russia and has warned that it will face an immediate recession and possible infrastructural problems if a supply suddenly stops. Neighboring Austria relies on Russia more for gas, with the country getting 80% of its gas from Russia. That's according to the Austrian chancellor, who has said that measures such as gas rationing will come into play during an immediate crisis. There will now be an official warning phase, they say, which both Germany and Austria have started. It's the first of 3 steps that are designed to prepare the country for potential gas shortages. The head of German network regulator is warning the entire nation that a deterioration of supplies is at hand. He stresses that every citizen needs to get ready for all possible scenarios. Now listen to the difference there between what's happening in other countries and what you hear in the United States of America. Here, they know that the
I don't think that the future that the Disney company is building today is the future that Walt Disney dreamed of. I think that it's the future.
They know that the tentative grip on the control power structure of the USA and its citizens is so slight that they have to tell people over and over, everything's going to be okay, baby. It's going to be all right. There's no need to worry. While you have gas rationing taking place in other countries, you have war breaking out in other nations, you have power and lockdown problems in other countries. Look, you have 30 to 50 million people in China completely locked down. And here in the USA, the hold on power is so tentative that they tell you, baby, everything's going to be okay. Don't you worry your pretty little heart. And they won't tell you the truth. The problem with that is that when the truth finally slaps you in your face, everyone in the country is going to be blindsided. They won't have prepared. They'll have said that everybody who prepares as a doomsdayer or those people are end of the world people. No, absolutely not. Those people that say that are only existing today because their great grandparents prepared for harder times. They lived through world wars. They lived through food rationing. They put away food for when there wasn't any more to grow, for when there was blight, for when there was pestilence. They did all of these things, and that's why these sorry saps of human beings, excuse my anger there, say that anybody who prepares is a doomer, or that's too negative. Don't mess up my positive flow, bro. This is the ridiculous nature of the Western world in general, but America in particular. And so when it finally slaps people on their face and when their power gets shut off, they will do nothing but riot and loot and become violent. And you need to prepare secondarily for that. First, you need to prepare your family to have food, to have an additional power source, to be in a defendable position, to make good agreements with local neighbors, other ones who are smart like you. And then secondary to that, you need to prepare for the people who have been so cushioned and so coddled and have had their butts wiped for so long that when it finally hits them in their face, and they wake up to the realization that they have some responsibility for themselves and no one's going to come and pat them on the back and tell them that everything's going to be okay, baby. That's when they are going to riot. That's when they're going to look at everybody who still has a light on and say, why do they get to have a light on and I don't? While everybody who still has a child that isn't starving and say, why do they get to eat and I don't? Why do they have medicine and I don't? Why do they have a car and I don't? Why do they have gas and I don't? It's those selfish little people. Those selfish little people who will cause you problems if you are facing the exact same outlook that billions of people are facing right now. Millions in China, millions in Ukraine, millions in Russia, millions in Europe. We're just cushioned here, but get ready for that to be ripped away. Remember, an airbag only goes off once. Your ABS system, your anti-lock braking system in your car is only semi-foolproof one time. As soon as you lock it up, you need to take it into the shop because there's no guarantee that it's going to work again. Your airbag goes off once, sure, it can save lives. If you just go in there and you pretend that airbag's going to magically repair itself and go off again to save your life again, it's not going to happen. We have already had the airbag go off in the United States of America. People have no idea what's coming, and in no way are they ready for the reality that is about to hit them. The Kremlin said that Russia will demand payments in rubles for other commodities such as fertilizer, grain, metals, and timber. The parliament said on yesterday that European politicians need to stop the talk and stop trying to find ways to justify that they can't pay in rubles. If you want gas, find rubles. For the first time, the U.S. Navy is acknowledging that a number of U.S. Navy-guided missile destroyers have been ordered to a high degree of readiness and deployed out of the Black Sea, where they were positioning for a conflict with Russia, even before Russia invaded Ukraine. There are increasing reports that from a classified data set that it may be made public soon, warning that 4 Russian aircraft breached Swedish airspace over the Baltic Sea this month, where they were carrying multiple tactical nuclear warheads while on patrol. According to anonymous government sources for the Swedish government, the military and nation are furious over the intrusion and threat to the entire world. Swedish news channel TV4 said that the flyover near the island of Gotland was a deliberate act designed to intimidate Sweden. A total of 4 planes made the act. The country's Air Force Base deployed 2 JAS-39 planes, which took pictures of the intruders and, of course, other data that isn't made public yet. This is a signal, they say, to Sweden that Russia has nuclear weapons and will consider using them. That's according to military strategic expert Stephen Ring telling TV4. We assess it as a conscious action, which is very serious as a nation and a warring country, added the Air Force chief. I can't rule out incorrect navigation, they say, but it was a deliberate act. This came days after Russian President Vladimir Putin threatened military action against Sweden and neighboring Finland, should either one of those nations join NATO. Russian POM-3 anti-personnel mines have been found in the region. On sensing a suitable seismic signature, the base unit ejects a fragmentation charge into the air that contains metal fragmentation rings that detonate, sending further fragments out in a lethal radius of 16 meters. This war is getting more and more dirty every single day, and more countries are being drawn in, and more are being affected, and you are going to be affected at home. If not, just consider yourself lucky right now that it's just inflation and some minor shortages, because that is not your future.
Don't miss the Inver Girl Fights Home Show coming to the Veterans Memorial Community Center on Saturday, April 2nd. It's our largest show yet, and it's completely free to attend. If you are thinking about a home improvement project, whether that's inside your home or out, don't do anything until you visit it.
Because that is not your future. Your future is at best case scenario, severe, even debilitating inflation, a decrease in the United States dollar's power. So that means even as inflation goes up and even as companies want to charge more, your money to buy it is going to be worth less. And this is going to happen as countries take to other nations. Do you think there's not a reason that Mondelez is an international company, that Frito-Lay and Kraft and all these nations are sourcing all of their food to other nations? There's absolutely a reason to this. All of their eggs are not in one basket. It is not just in North America. Whatever multinational company that you get your food from or you see packaged goods from, there's a reason they're in other nations. So as Frito wants to continue selling to the Middle Eastern market, and the Middle Eastern market picks up on the yuan, the Chinese yuan, as the currency. That's at the same time your inflation, the cost of the goods is going to go up, and your purchasing power is going to go down. In South breakaway regions of Georgia, they say that they are taking now legal steps to break away from the country of Georgia and join Russia. Let me tell you that again. Areas of Georgia are taking the legal steps now to break away from Georgia and join Russia. I don't know if anybody can look at this data and not see World War. Can they not see that exactly what has happened in Ukraine is going to happen in Georgia? And then Russia's going to move on to Poland. And then Russia's going to move toward Finland. And then Russia's going to move toward Sweden. And at the very best, we are going to have a multinational conflict that drives the entire world into chaos. And I want you to do everything that is in your power and everything that you can do to get ready for that future. Georgia's breakaway South region announces it will hold a referendum on joining Russia in the April 10th elections. In Washington, they say that we welcome the decisions of European countries to expel all Russian diplomats. Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, recalls ambassadors from Georgia and Morocco, saying that a decree recalling the Ukrainian ambassadors for failing to defend the state's interests. Hamas has warned that there will be serious international consequences if anything is allowed to happen in the region negative to Hamas. Growing intelligence agencies warn of attacks on Israeli targets, not in Israel, but overseas. B-52s are seen circling near Belarus, definitely sending a message to Belarus that NATO, the United States of America, and the Western world are ready to go to war. NATO has requested that the battalion of soldiers and equipment that was put on high readiness by the armed forces of Denmark be immediately deployed to the Baltic states. Russia has drafted 134,500 conscripts, which they say will not be going to Ukraine. Let me say that again. 134,000 drafted individuals that they say are not going to Ukraine.
So yeah, so you see. So let's go with some scriptures and go right into it. I'm going to go to Job. Let's go to Job chapter. I'm tripping. Let's go to Job chapter 5, verse 18 or 19. He should deliver thee in 6 trouble, yet 7 there should no evil touch thee. Verse 20, in famine he should redeem thee from death, and war from the power of the sword. They should be hidden from the scorns of the tongue, neither should they be afraid of destruction when it come, right? Verse 22, destruction and famine, they should laugh, neither should they be afraid of the beasts of the earth. Verse 23, for they should be in leading with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field should be at peace with them. Let's go up. Let's go read it again. Job chapter 5, verse 20. In famine he should redeem thee from death, in wars from the power of the sword. Verse 21, they should be hidden from the scorns of thy tongue, neither should they be afraid of destruction when it come. Verse 22, destruction and famine, they should laugh, neither should they be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For they should be in leading with the stone of the field, and the beasts of the field should be at peace with them. Right? Beasts of the field should be at peace with them. Let's move along. Let's go to go to Psalms 91. Psalm 91, verse 1. I got wrong with it. Psalm 91, verse 1. Psalm 91, verse 1. He that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Right? Read it again. Psalm 91, verse 1. He that dwell in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. When I say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortune, my power in whom I will trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snares of the fowl and from the noise of pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers under His wings. Should they trust in His truth? Should they be thy shield and buckler? They should not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow of the field by day, nor for the pestilence it's like me again. Psalm 91 verse 6, nor for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for the destruction that wastes at noonday. Verse 7, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it should not come now thee. Right? It should not come now thee. Psalm 91 verse 7 again, 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it should not come not thee. Only when the eye should thou behold to see the reward of the wicked. Right? See the reward of the wicked. Verse 9, because they had made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy inhabit. Verse 10, thy should no evil befall thee, neither should any plague come not thy dwelling. For he shall give his angel charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. Right, in all thy ways. Verse 12, they shall bear thee upon, they shall bear thee up in thy hand, let thy dash thy foot against the stone. Thou shalt tremble upon the lion of the young lion, and the dragon should thou trample under the feet. Verse 14, because he has set his love upon me, therefore would I deliver him, and I would set him on high, because he had known my name. Yahweh Bashim Shah. Verse 15, he should call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble, and I will deliver him and honor him. Verse 16, with long life, and I will satisfy him, and I will show him my salvation. Man, show him my salvation. That's read one more. Let's go verse 3 again. Read that Psalms 91 verse 3. That shows that he shall deliver thee from the snares of fowl and from the noise of pestilence. He shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shall thy trust in his truth should be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fall by day. It's like, nor for pestilence that walk in noonday. No, it's like I'm again. Psalm 91 verse 6. Knowing for pestilence, knowing for the pestilence that walk in darkness, nor for destruction that wastes at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come not thee. Verse 10, skip 10, and there shall no evil befall thee, neither should any plague come not thy dwelling. Right? Not dwelling. Let me see if I can get a couple. So right, man. Let me see if I can get a couple extra scriptures with this. We're gonna move along. I'll get a couple more. Let me see. Let me see. Nothing too easy. I'm gonna get one. What is that? Psalm 124 and 7. Let me see. Look, going too much. Round 124 and 7. No. Okay. Let's move along now. Okay. Let's go to excuse me. Let's go to Psalms chapter 1, verse 10. Proverbs, I'm tripping. Psalms. Hold on for put it. I'm tripping. I just want to skip on. No. Psalm chapter 1. Is it right? Yeah. I forget all about it. Is it 111? Oh, yeah. It's Psalm chapter 111, verse 10. Okay. Psalm chapter 111, verse 10. We're just going to get all our scriptures, go right into it. And I just want to get all the stuff I get out. Psalm chapter 110, verse, The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and good understanding. Have all that do his commandment, his praise and do it forever. Right, man? The fear of the Lord, man, is the beginning of wisdom. So read that again. Psalm 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom and good understanding. Have all that do his commandment, his praise and do it forever. Right? The fear of the Lord, man. Let's move on. Nope, no more. Just gonna get some scriptures. Move on. No more. That. Let's go to Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah 33 and 6. Yes. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge should be submitted of thy time, strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, right? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. We got to read it again. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge should be the submitting of thy time, strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure, man. So, right, wisdom and knowledge should be submitting of thy time. Move along. Let's go to Isaiah 55 and 6. Isaiah 55 and 6, it says, Seek you the Lord while he may be found, and call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his ways, and the righteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord. He will have mercy upon him to our power, for he will abundant of pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Lord. For as the heaven are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts in your thoughts. So right, seek the Lord while he may be found, call upon him. Move on with some more scriptures. Go to Ezekiel 3 and 17. Ezekiel 3 verse 17. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the words of my mouth and give them warning from me, right? Give them warning from me. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, thou shalt have not, nor speak again. Ezekiel 3, verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if thou gave him not warning, nor speak to warn the wicked from his wickedness, wicked ways, to save his life, and same wicked man shall die as iniquity, for his blood would I require as thy hand. So, right, Ezekiel 3, verse 17, it says, Son of man, I made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the words of my mouth, and give them warning from me. So let's move on. Nope, not. So you see the times that we are coming into. You see what's going on. And you people's not going to take heed of this time is coming. You know, we just bringing the same scriptures. All we ain't talking about. We're going to see. And when these things are manifest, it's not, you know, especially so-called, I think it was like Americans to repent and seek the Lord while he may be found. So we out here blowing the trumpet. Joel 2:1, it said, blow you the trumpet in Zion and sound alarm in my holy mountain. Let all in the heaven of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord come forth is not at hand, right? Read again, Joel 2:1 again. It said, blow you the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm in my holy mountain. Let all in the heaven of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord come forth is not at hand. So let's move on. Amos 5:4. So when these things that happen, man, great tribulation now the scene, you people ain't gonna know what to do. Not what to do. Amos 5:4. You know, for thou said the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek me and you shall live. Right? Seek him and you shall live. Amos 5:4 again, for thou said the Lord unto the house of Israel, seek me and you shall live. Verse 15. Now it goes over to Amos 5:18. Yeah. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what ends for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, right, man? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light, man. We get again, Amos 5:18. Say, woe unto you. Yeah, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord, to what end for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. Right, what's in for you? Man. You know, let's go to yes. Go to Proverbs chapter 1, verse 25. I'll start with that. Yeah. Proverbs chapter 1, verse 23. Turn you at my reproach. Behold, I pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you, because I have called and you refused. I have stretched out my hand and no man regard. Let's skip down. Verse 26. Also, I will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear come. When your fear come and desolate and your destruction come, as a whirlwind, distress, anger come upon you. They should call upon me, but I will not answer. They should seek me early, but they should not find me. For they should hate knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. Right? You hate knowledge and you did not choose to fear the Lord. Verse 30, with none of my counsel, despise all my reproach. Therefore should they eat the fruit of their own ways and be filled with their own device. For they turn away the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Verse 33, but whoso hearken unto me shall dwell safety, should be quiet from fearing of evil. Right? Proverbs 1:33 again. But so who hearken unto me shall dwell safety, should be quiet from fearing of evil. Let's go to Matthew. Move along. Get a couple more. We'll try to be more with this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. Matthew 24, verse 21. For there shall be great tribulation, so is not seen the beginning of this world to this time, nor ever shall be. Right? It's going to be great tribulation, you say, right? Matthew 24, verse 21. For there should be great tribulation, so is not seen the beginning of this world to this time, nor ever shall be. Never ever shall be. Matthew 24, verse 34. Yeah, verse 33. So likewise, when you shall, it's like, so likewise, when you shall see all those things, know that it is near, even at the door. Right? Know that even near it to the door. Matthew 24, verse 34. So likewise, when you shall see all those things, know that it is near, even at the door. Right. Matthew 24, verse 42. Wash you therefore, for you know not what hour that your Lord does come. Let's go to Romans. (13) verse 11. I always get this. Romans 13, verse 11. And that known the time is now, high time to wake out of sleep, for now our salvation is near that we believe. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast the work of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honor as in the day, not rioting, not drunken, not in chamber, not in wanton, not in strife, and even, but put you on the Lord, Yahweh shall anoint it, and make not provision for the day, flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Right. So as now as that known, it's high time to wake out of sleep. Right. I think I got 2 more scriptures. Let's go to the Apocrypha, chapter 9, 2nd Age, chapter 9, verse 1. Second Age, 9, verse 1. And he answered me and said, measure the time diligently in thyself, and when thou see the part of the sign pass, which I told you before, thou should understand that it is the very same time when then the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when you shall see, shall be seeing earthquakes upward of the people in the world. Again, 2 chapter 9, verse 3. Therefore, when you shall be seeing earthquakes, they should be seeing earthquake upwards of the people in the world. They shall well understand that the Most High spoken of those things from the day that was before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? Like I said, the end is manifest, man. So, man, with these things, man, when it's manifest, man, like it said, 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world had a beginning and the end is manifest. Move along. 2 chapter 9, verse 9. They should be in pitiful case, which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away, despiteful, and just dwell in torment. For sure as their life have received benefit, and have not known me. Verse 11. And that they had ruled my law, while they had yet liberty, and would yet a place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain, right? The same must know about death by pain. Let's go into the get a couple of these out of here. 2 chapter 15, verse. Get ready to 2 chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For the wicked I see pollute the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. Therefore, said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more, touching their wickedness, which they profane, committed another, but I suffer in those things in which the wicked exercise themselves. Behold, an innocent and righteous blood cry unto me, and the soul of the just complaining continually. This is verse 14. It says, woe unto the world that dwell in them, for the sword and destruction draw not, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and the sword in their hand. For there should be sedition among man, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor princes, or counsels, or courage of their action should be stand in the power. They should be not like a man should desire to go into the city, should not be able to, not be able. It's like, read it again, 2 chapter 15, verse 17. A man should desire to go into the city, and they should not be able, for because of proud, the city should be troubled, the houses should be destroyed, a man should be afraid of. Verse 19, a man should have no pity upon his neighbor, but should destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and great tribulation. Right, great tribulation. Let me see where we at. It would be too long, but you just want to get the things out. We got that out. We're gonna watch half a little bit of this. I don't know what the heck is this. I'll watch a little bit of it. Probably like right there. Not scrolling down commercial. Oh, come on, what the heck I just do? Yeah, we'll just watch 5 minutes of it.
And on the Middle East, for over 90% of all raw ingredients for medicine in the United States of America. Your parents' blood pressure medication, your family's cholesterol medication, your diabetes medication, your everything, your statins, every single thing comes from raw ingredients derived from China and the Middle East. And that is because those raw ingredients are not available in the United States of America. Now you know things are getting bad when the USA is willing to release 1 million barrels of oil per day just to hedge off the coming shock of inflation and gas prices. They're considering sending stimulus checks to American citizens because people can no longer work their 2 jobs and afford to put money in their gas tank. People are not okay with this. Your neighbors are not okay with this. The police are blaming people with trucks because why do you need a big truck when you could go out and get yourself a little smart vehicle? Why don't you go get a moped like everybody does in Malaysia and in Thailand? Then you won't have to worry about your $200 worth of gas or diesel being stolen. It's victim blaming. They're telling you everything's going to be okay. Nothing is wrong. And people have the audacity every day around the country and in the comments here to say everything's fine in my area. What are you talking about? That's called normalcy bias. And we all need to check ourselves for it. We also need to check ourselves on the polar opposite for confirmation bias. You see, normalcy bias is when you get a leg cut off, but you keep walking and you go, hey, it's not so bad. Confirmation bias is when you
every conflict on Earth comes down to 2 things: territory and resource. Now, of course, we are on the brink of an oil crisis.
Commercials, man. Let's move right into it, and there's a little bit of it. And we got
look for information that confirms why you're doing something. Now, neither of those are inherently bad. But when they stop your ability to survive the future, when they stop your ability to survive an event or to live a good life, then they become bad traits and bad behavior. Normalcy bias. If it stops you right now from preparing because you say, hey, everything's at the grocery store. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a lot of people on the channel who are dollar store preppers. That is perfectly fine. I've prepped at the dollar store, and my budget box is full, or my barter box is full of budget medication, budget prep items. But a lot of people don't have money to even spare a little bit extra. So they're buying, an extra 20 pounds of rice per month, which is great. Don't forget, 25 pounds of rice, 30,000 calories. You're going to feed your family a long time. You add in some canned goods, some canned chicken. You're able to hunt a little, catch a squirrel, whatever it might be. You have a protein source. You have your rice. You're doing it. You are surviving the event. A lot of people are saying, Brad, should I go out and max a credit card to get, these gas masks and everything that I need? Absolutely not, in my opinion. But that doesn't mean some people won't act too late. What I think you should do is everything that you can do, and then you put it away. You know you've done everything for today. You've watched this program. You're aware of what's happening. You see the things that are affecting other people. You don't have normalcy bias because you go, oh my gosh, I have empathy for those 30, 50 million people in China locked down. I have empathy for those people who have lost their homes and their families to the Ukrainian war. I know that is horrible, and I don't want that to happen to me. So what can I do today? Well, can I go to the pistol store and can I, see if there's a self-defense tool that I need? Can I pick up an extra box of projectiles?
Yeah, so let's do. But yeah, you see. So hey, man, see the time that we are coming into some evil times and what our people's doing, man, partying, worrying about the things going on over there, whatever them crazy people, Will Smith and all that, man. We're coming into some evil times, man. Let's go to Ephesians. Go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. And people don't have no idea. Just through. Need to be doing is seeking the Lord, man. Especially you so-called niggas Latino Americans to repent and seek him while he may be found. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14 or 15. Yeah. I'm gonna close out with that. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that you walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise, redeem the time because the days are evil, right? The days are evil. Verse 17. Wherefore, be you not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is, right? Understand what the will of the Lord is. We just again, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that you walk circumspect, not as fools, but as wise, and redeem the time because the days are evil. Verse 17, wherefore be you not unwise, but understand what the will of the Lord is, right? Understand what the will of the Lord is, man. So I'm going to close it out right there. Except you repent, you should all likewise perish. And so repent, man. Hey, turn to the Lord and seek him. Or, hey, so I'm going to close it out right there, giving our praise to Yahweh, by Shem Shah. Double honor to the apostle when the brother speaking truth around the world. Shalom to the elect. Shalom.